Hyun worried, son Ye-jin cried and Lee Byung-hun comforted her in Venice. Hello, dear viewers of Yahoo Japan News, a warm hello from our little rumor mill of glamour, gossip, and, occasionally, sincere heartbeats. If you love a good red carpet sob story mixed with soft comedy and a pinch of romance, please support our YouTube channel and watch the full video to the end. We've tucked a few special clips and surprise details into the edit that you won't want to miss. There are celebrity moments, and then there are cinematic, slow motion, tissue handing, did I just feel something moments. On an evening drenched in camera flashes and champagne smiles, son Ye-jin, dazzling in an elegant black gown, stepped onto the red carpet for the premiere of No Other Choice at the 82nd Venice International Film Festival. She was everything the magazines like to describe when they want the word luminous. To work overtime, poised, refined, photogenic to the point of being measured in megapixels. The film's montage did what good montages always do. It spoke in the swoop of a life well acted. It threaded clips and applause and the little wins that, stitched together, made for a moment that stopped the room. The crowd, the critics, and the cameras all leaned in. For once, the superstar who usually wears composure like a tailored coat felt something much warmer and less fashionable. She felt the swell of gratitude, memory, and a little exhaustion turn into tears. And then son Ye-jin cried. It was quick and pure. A single, human blink that 1,000 phones politely failed to miss. The audience caught their collective breath. Some people reached instinctively for tissues. It was not a scandalous sob or a melodramatic wail, it was that honest, near-silent moment when a life's work meets recognition in the shape of applause and you realize you are not doing it alone. Enter Lee Byung-hun. Like a classic supporting actor in the movie of real life, he moved, unobtrusive, experienced, respectful, to offer comfort. A gentle hand on the shoulder, a soft word, a look that said, I see you. The cameras found the intimacy between two stars who have spent decades on the same stage and turned it into a new, very public, and surprisingly private moment. Fans called it tender. Comment threads called it touching. The red carpet called it one of those scenes that will live forever in GIF form. Back home, in an altogether less glamorous set, slippers, a living room lamp, a bowl perhaps full of something instant. Hyun was scrolling through the live feed. And he was not alone. With a small person folded into his side. A child who watches the world with wide curiosity and maybe a slightly impatient thumb. He watched his partner on a screen that could not quite capture the warm hush of the real thing. The juxtaposition could not have been sweeter. Venice's glitter against the cozy, domestic glow of a home that is more about slippers than stilettos. Hyun's face, at least in the mental movie that fans love to imagine, had that great actorly duality. He wore a stoic expression, as if to protect the image of manly composure, while inside he was obviously melting, a soft mozzarella of feelings. He's an actor used to holding 1,000 faces, but nothing quite prepares you for watching someone you love be celebrated and reduced to happy, unwavering vulnerability. Simultaneously, there's a scene in every rom-com where the camera cuts between the glamorous event and the person watching from afar. One frame says success, the next says home. Our version had Hyun leaning forward to rewind the clip, pretending he's a casual viewer, though secretly he knows every tilt of her head. The child beside him, the future human who will one day know the sound of red carpets, more from memes than from laurels, looked up and asked, why's she crying? Hyun, who can deliver the deadpan of a thriller and the comedy of a sitcom, answered in the same soft voice he uses when making tea, because sometimes people get all the applause at once, and their heart spills over. The child nodded solemnly, as if the universe made perfect sense again. Back in Venice, son Ye-jin's tears created an immediate ripple. The moment was not only about film and fashion, it was about the quiet, transformative recognition of a long path. Scripts read in the dark, nights learning lines with cold coffee, sacrifices that never make glossy magazine spreads. The segment that made her cry was as much for the audience as it was for her. A celebratory highlight of a career threaded with resilience. The crowd's warmth, the cheers, the applause, the standing ovation, felt like an embrace instead of a performance. And it was precisely this that moved her. Lee Byung-hun's response is worth a paragraph of its own because it reminds us that professionalism can be warm, and stature can be kind. He steadied Sun Ye-jin with a gesture that was formal enough to be respectful and personal enough to be human. The veteran actor's hand on her shoulder was not a headline-seeking move. It was the simple instinct of someone who understands what it feels like to have a room full of strangers clap for you as if you were one of their own. People online described the interaction as respectful, beautiful, and even unforgettable. In a world that often trades authenticity for spectacle, this felt refreshingly genuine. Social media, of course, did what social media does best. It leaked, looped, and lauded clips of the comforting gesture, and the crying actress circulated with lightning speed. Fans posted reaction videos. Commentators wrote think pieces about emotional vulnerability in the spotlight. And meme makers, ever industrious, turned the gentle shoulder touch into captions that ranged from reverent to ridiculous. The net effect was that the Venice evening was not just a festival moment. It was a collective, worldwide sigh. Let's circle back to Hyun bin at home, who emerges in the imaginary montage as both comic and tragic. Comic because he fiddled with the TV remote like it was the single point of failure in the universe. Tragic because he had to wait for his next plane ticket to be relevant again. For the romantically inclined among us, there was poetry in the way his domestic evening contrasted with her international spotlight. For everyone else, it was a cute anecdote for a Sunday night of gentle domesticity. Because this is our channel, and because we enjoy delivering a generous plate of romance with a side of playful gossip, we've put together a video that stitches together the red carpet footage, the fan reactions, and a small home movie vibe of Hyun bin watching from afar. Watch the full video. There are layered moments we've annotated, including slow motion reactions and fan collation of the exact second Sun Ye-jin blinked away a tear. We've also embedded a couple of special clips and behind-the-scenes whispers that the editors were kind enough to share. Consider them cinematic Easter eggs. So please, subscribe, like, and share our video on. Watch it until the end, because that's where we place the small surprises. A slow frame cut that catches the exact second a hand finds a shoulder, an unseen backstage laugh, and a tiny, candid clip of Hyun bin smiling in the kitchen as he rewinds the footage for the third time. These are the moments that turn headlines into human stories. Closing line, because every rom-com needs one. In a world where spotlights chase our steps, sometimes the warmest applause is the one that comes from your living room.